It's hard to believe, but this video is over 3 years in the making.
If I could just do it all over again, knowing what I know now. I want to talk about what I would do differently if I was starting my gray hair journey again, all over again from scratch. Hi, I'm Lynn, and I help women go gray their own way. If you have ever thought about what would happen if you stopped dyeing your hair, chances are you've wondered, did I miss the gray hair trend? Is gray hair out of style? Maybe I shouldn't even grow it out. And I'm here to tell you that gray hair is not just a passing trend. In fact, I think that right now might be the perfect time to go gray because it's more accepted than ever as a color choice. We're at a point in history where more and more women are choosing to accept their gray hair, and not just regular women like you and me, but even celebrities are embracing their natural gray hair. Plus, there are now so many ways to grow out your hair dye and make the process much simpler. And you can take advantage of the fact that more and more hairstylists are developing the skill level that it takes to help color blend your gray hair and to ease your transition and to help you stay on the path and not quit. The women who are successful in embracing their gray hair have a very strong idea as to why they want to do it. So you need to have a deep understanding and a solid awareness as to why you want to ditch the dye. And I believe that this has to happen before you actually do it. Understand your reasoning before you do it. When I started my gray hair journey, I approached it like I approached a lot of things during that time. I just started because I wanted to do it. I didn't have any real clear, concrete rationale for doing it. I knew I was sick of coloring my hair, and so that obviously played into it, but it was more just kind of like, I just want to do it. I kind of want to see what I have going on. So I guess I had all the usual reasons that people mention for wanting to go gray. I was tired of the dye cycle. I was curious about what my natural hair color would look like. I was tired of putting toxic chemicals on my head. All of the above, all of the main reasons that people want to ditch the dye. But I sort of just did it. I didn't have a firm grasp of the reason behind why I wanted to ditch the dye, other than the fact that it was an inconvenience and I was really sick of it. And that worked for a while. I mean, it got me started. But as time went on and it started to get harder, I really started asking myself, what am I doing? And so I was starting to question what I was doing because I was entering the ugly phase. And I had no real solid foundational reasoning to fall back on. So in essence, I didn't have my why. It wasn't until much later in my journey when it really started to get hard that I really started to question myself. And trying to find your why while you're in the throes of your gray hair journey is really hard. So I would suggest that you do a little digging into why you want to start your gray hair journey before you actually start it. And if you've already started, take a moment to really think about your why. Write it down somewhere so that you can refer back to it when you need to. It will really help during those times when you want to give up. Once you have determined your deeper why, the next step is to create your gray hair grow out strategy. So let's cut right to it. This is exactly what I would do if I was starting over again from scratch to ease my transition and make it more enjoyable along the way. Because when I first started, I thought it would just be as simple as letting it grow. And that was fine, and it worked for a while, until it didn't. And it wasn't doing anything for me as the ends started turning brassy and I started looking like a calico cat, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And essentially, by trying to tough it out for several months, I was really struggling with it and I was not enjoying the process at all, and I almost quit several times. So after about 9 months, I had finally had it, and I had it professionally color blended. So I believe in having a set of strategies that you're willing to lean into when things get tough and you want to quit. Write them down in the same place that you have your why statement. This is really the amazing thing about going gray today, because there are so many ways to do it and there's really no right or wrong way to do it. And you have several strategies that you can choose from that fit your personality and fit your lifestyle. And particularly, I think that gray hair color blending is really having its moment on social media. The most famous, of course, being Jack Martin, who has made gray hair color blending mainstream on Instagram and TikTok. And more hairdressers are developing the skill level that's needed to successfully and seamlessly blend gray hair for the purposes of accelerating the grow out. Their popularity isn't dwindling, which is evidence that gray hair is not a trend. It's not going away anytime soon. Wearing your natural hair color is not going away. And this is why I think going gray now is even easier than it was just a few years ago. Because after the granny trend and COVID lockdown, going gray has just become more mainstream. Back in the day when you just had to tough it out and let it grow without the help of a professional color blend, or there wasn't the bond building technology that we have today to help protect your hair during the process, or with the color depositing conditioners that I love so much, it was a lot harder then to find a hairstylist who could pull off a successful gray hair color blending without the potential risk of your hair actually snapping off. Today's gray color blending services are very safe for your hair when done by a competent stylist. And I honestly wish I would have done it sooner than the 9 months, because I would have avoided months of enduring what I thought was a horrible hair color. And instead, I would have been able to relax a little bit more. I would have had a lot more confidence in my decision, and I would have actually enjoyed my journey a lot more than I did. And for me, color blending was great because it allowed me to see what I could expect at the end of my journey. And it also helped me stay the course. So after I had it blended, I knew that it was probably going to be what I wanted. There was a good possibility that at the end of it all, I was actually going to love it. And so that allowed me to realize that I was probably going to love it. And then I could just sort of relax and settle into my journey and actually enjoy the process of growing it out more. Now, a lot of women really start stressing over what their hair is looking like and what other people are starting to think. And they stress about how long the process is going to take. And as important as that may seem, the main thing that is going to set you apart and keep you on your journey and keep you going towards a successful completion of your grow out is an unwavering desire to do it. And this gets back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video. The main thing that is going to keep you going isn't whether or not you have the approval of others, but it gets back to having a deep connection with your reasons for doing it. Because being firm in your reasoning with yourself is what's going to help you when things get tough. One thing I did that really helped me is I set small goals for myself. Try to push through to 3 months. Write it on a calendar if you have to and check off the days. Since you can actually visualize your progress, that might help you stay on track. And of course, I recommend that you take a lot of pictures or video, because I mean, if you look in my phone, you're gonna only see pictures of me, hardly any pictures of my kids. It's all my hair. During those times when it feels like it's not growing, those pictures are what are gonna tell the story and show you your progress. I didn't really start taking pictures of my hair until I was several months into my grow out. I now know that having those pictures would have really helped me see my progress, because there was a time when I, probably like you, didn't think it was growing at all. So taking lots of pictures really helps you to see your progress when you think that your growth is at a literal standstill. And I recommend that you take the pictures in the same location, in similar lighting, so that you can do side-by-side comparisons and really see your progress. So when you're first getting started, don't be afraid to set a goal of maybe going a month past when your normal next hair dye appointment would be, or a couple of months past when you would normally color your hair at home, and see how it goes when you get there. Decide at that point if you want to keep going. Because moving forward, setting small, achievable goals makes you more likely to continue. And sometimes just knowing that you can dye it again after that point makes you continue for another month, and then maybe another month, and so on. Growing out your gray hair successfully is all about having a very strong reason why you want to, and taking advantage of all the methods of growing out your gray hair that are available today, and setting small achievable goals that you can actually accomplish instead of waiting for the finished product. These are truly the building blocks to making it to the end of your journey. So if you're really serious about starting your gray hair journey, you might want to check out this video next, where I talk about what you actually need to do before you start growing out your gray hair. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here so much, and I will see you in the next video.